What's up, NASCAR racing fans? This is Ryan with NASCAR Authentic Reviews, and I'm back with another video. So today we'll be taking a look at a very special 124 scale diecast, and this will actually be Chase Elliott's 2018 Watkins Glen very first career win, and this is one that I've been waiting for a while, and I actually had for a while, just haven't gotten around to reviewing. So I'm very excited to take a look at this and what all, but I did also get the 164 scale for those who are actually interested in looking at getting that. It does look pretty good. Of course, you do not get the window decal for the windshield wiper, which is fine. It's not a very big deal. But for those who are wondering, of course, the front end, not a whole lot of dirt. You might be able to see just a little bit of dirt in the 9. Other than that, nothing really. Of course, they did not chrome the wheels for the 164, so what all, still not a very big deal. Back end as it should with the Jimmy Johnson mark. If I can get it to focus in, it's just really bright. There we go. As you can see, just a little bit that marking there from Jimmy Johnson giving it a push. What a great moment that was. But yeah, okay, so we'll go ahead and take a look at some of the stuff you get with the diecast. Of course, you do get the winner stat card and the winner sticker. As most of y'all know, for a track that does not have confetti, such as Watkins Glen or Pocono, you do not get a bag of confetti. So this diecast and this car actually did not come with a bag of confetti that some people are used to. So I'll go ahead and look at the winner card. One thing I noticed right off the bat was the picture they used was really pixelated. This is like something they got off of like Google or something. You know, it's very pixelated. Not the best picture. They tried to make it a little bit too big. It seems like it doesn't show that bad on camera, but it definitely is a little bit pixelated. I do wish they did use either a better picture or to make the picture just a little bit smaller to make it just a little bit less grainy. Either way, we'll take a look at it. Chase Elliott, Go Bowling at the Glen winner, Watkins Glen, New York, August 5th, 2018. Time of race, 2 hours, 13 minutes, 44 seconds. Starting position, 3rd. Total laps, 90. Number of cautions, 4 for 11 laps. Number of leaders, 5. Laps led by winner, 52. Margin of victory, 7.56 seconds. Driver career wins, first Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series win. Very awesome. And I was watching that race with my family, and I was very ecstatic when he finally crossed that line. I did not celebrate so early, that's for sure. I was waiting on to that moment where he crossed the line that I knew for 100% fact that Chase Elliott would win. And even a couple days after that win, I was still really worried because I was worried that maybe he wouldn't pass an inspection or something like that. Sometimes weird things happen, you know, just and it gets encumbered, and that's one thing I didn't want for a first win. So a couple days after, didn't hear nothing. I was very happy because I knew that win actually went through. Either way, we'll look at the back side of the card. Elliott battles it out for first career win. Chase Elliott drove the race of his life at Watkins Glen International Raceway on August 5th, 2018 to clinch his first career win in NASCAR's Top Series. After winning the second stage of the Go Bowling at the Glen, the Hendrick Motorsports driver held off the reigning series champion on a road course for the ages, putting the number 9 Sun Energy Blue Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 in victory lane. The win coming on the occasion of his 99th start also guaranteed Elliott a spot in the 2018 series playoffs. It was also the 250th win for Hendrick Motorsports. So such a career, like such an important win. Even if you're not necessarily a Chase Elliott fan, if you're a Hendrick Motorsports fan, well, it was really cool to have this car. For not only for it being Chase Elliott's first win, but then also the 250 win and all that stuff like that. But yeah, very nice. Of course, the new 2018 Elite boxes, which are okay, subpar. They don't exactly hold the car in the best because there's no screws in the bottom of it. Some people have had issues with that. The antenna's getting broken or the diecast itself getting broken, chipped, what all. So I think Lionel is actually going to change that a little bit. Hopefully they work with it just a little bit more. But we'll take a look at the tag here. Chase Elliott, number 9 Sun Energy 1 Blue, Watkins Glen win, 2018 Camaro Elite 1 of 2,181. Of course, that is a pretty high number for an Elite, but it's not too surprising because they did make them cheaper in both ways, quality and price. But, yeah, we're going to take a look at it. Of course, under the cover, the suspense, and how fantastic does that car look. I mean, I think Lionel personally nailed this car. I actually did get to see this car race, or at least the scheme race at the Roval in Charlotte, and I will say from person that they actually did a very good job in the paint scheme, and the color and what all. Some people are saying that the liquid color is just a little bit more accurate, but I honestly tend to disagree. I think Lionel Racing did a very good job on this car with this paint scheme. The lighting, kind of makes it change the color a little bit, but in person I think they did a really good job. Other than that, other things, being said about like the wheels and the chrome on the wheels, I think the wheels look okay. They do look a bit pinkish. Maybe if they made the orange just a little bit darker or something like that, then after they chromed it, it would look just a little bit better. I'm not sure. It's just something Lionel will have to try to figure out. But other than that, I'm just happy they actually tried to chrome it. At least they tried to do that. One thing that I did notice as well when I looked at them is that there is no Hendrick Motorsports marking on the actual tire, if you know what I mean. Some of those who have actually been diecast collecting for a little while might know what I mean. That they do not have the 48, 88, 9, or 24 number on the tire itself. That's one thing that I believe they forgot to add in. Couldn't really blame them. There was a lot going on, and this car was released quite early, a lot faster than a lot of us were expecting. A lot of us were actually worried about that as well, because as a lot of y'all know, when Lionel starts to rush diecast in cars and production and stuff like that, some things tend to get left out and forgotten about, which was one reason why I was a bit worried. But either way, I think they did a fantastic job on this. We'll go over it in more detail in just a minute. But as y'all know, the fuel cell also on the opposite side for it being a Watkins Glen diecast or a Watkins Glen win. As you can probably guess, they did not actually change the diecast mold to incorporate that. They actually just did not put the sticker on this side, so you still see a fuel cell there, and put the sticker on the other side. So one thing also, as y'all probably guessed, they did not change the actual fuel cell, which is a bit disappointing, which, who could blame them, but it is a little bit more of a work. I don't know if there's actually much that goes into changing that, whether it's just a solid hose or that's a pretty fixed hose. So yeah, I guess there's nothing really they could do about that other than actually changing the actual molding. But it is a bit disappointing that they couldn't at least change that. You get a deck lid open and the insides aren't accurate. But either way, not too bad. My dim was 1504 out of, what did I say? It was like 1800 or something like that. I got to find my box to actually remember. No, 2181. So it's right there about in the middle of the production, which isn't too bad. But we'll go ahead and take a look at it more closely. Of course, you do get to see the windshield wiper, as I stated before, on the 124 scale diecast. And looks good. For those who are actually wanting to get the autograph version as well, they did not put the windshield wiper on the autograph versions. Just a heads up for those wondering, that is not on there. See if I can get the hood open, and we'll go and take a look at the inside there. You see the Elite detail, which is definitely better than the ARCs, but still not great. That is one thing that they did keep on the Elites, at least, that makes me kind of happy, that they didn't change the engine detail too terribly much for these Elites. I know they were downscaling the quality just a little bit, but at least they didn't change that. One thing also, they did not keep the wheel. As y'all, main collectors might know also, as you turn the wheels, the steering wheel turns also. That is one thing that they did take back out. As you can see, the pins there that actually drives that is not there. That's one thing they did take out for the Elites and the ARCs, which is a bit disappointing. Not a big detail, but it is one less detail that they took out. But overall, not bad. I forgot to look under the hood to see what sponsors there were. I don't think there was actually a few. Auto Parts, Advanced Auto Parts, or Napa Auto Parts, that is, rather. Mountain Dew, Kelly Blue Book, Hooters, Sun Energy, and Wix Filters. Very, very nice. Go back onto the side of the diecast. Also, once again, when I went to Charlotte for the Roval, they actually did have this diecast, or this car, rather, for show at the Hendrick Motorsports race shop. Pretty cool. Got to actually look at the actual car that won at Watkins Glen in person. So I got a few pictures, not great, nothing really too great, of the the car, just to see how accurate it was, and I think they did a pretty good job. So you see right here, there's just a little bit of dirt, rubber buildup, and grime, and what all. A little bit of a bump right there from whoever on the front nose of it, and also in the front grille and what all. Looks pretty good. Just a little bit of something from Watkins Glen. Usually these diecasts are pretty clean anyways, but I think this car turned out pretty good. I'm not sure if you can see it on the camera as well, but the 9 actually does also have some dirt and grime inside it as well, which makes sense for a white number. It usually does get a little bit of something on the side of it. But there's a little bit of damage there on the left corner. Not a whole lot, of course, to be expected. Low spoiler. And the main damage on the back that everybody was kind of anticipating. The damage from Jimmy Johnson from giving him a push to victory lane. Of course, Chase Elliott Did run out of fuel on the way back from the return lap, the cooldown lap, and ran out of fuel, and Jimmy Johnson had to give him a little bit of an assist to get him back to what was victory lane, the front stretch. So very, very nice. A little bit of fuel spillage there, as you see running down the Napa sign there. Chase Elliott did run the race of his life in those last laps. He almost blew it. He almost gave it away right there on the last right turn, or the first right turn of the last lap, and almost lost it to Martin Truex. Fortunately, Martin Truex got a little throttle happy and spun the rear tires, trying to catch back up to Chase Elliott, and kind of got sideways a little bit, slowing him down, and Chase Elliott was able to maintain the lead until the finish. Of course, Martin Truex Jr. also ran out of fuel on that last lap, heading down to the last 2 or 3 corners, and Chase Elliott was able to cruise to victory lane. Of course, also the passenger window is not installed for the reason that it is a road course, and they do not put those on the road course, so that is correct as well. So very, very nice, very, very anticipated. I think this is actually Lionel Racing's second best selling diecast of the 2018 season, first being Chase Elliott's standard diecast, which is just a bit surprising, because as most of y'all know, that one was not known for being the most accurate diecast ever produced by Lionel. There were a couple issues with the paint and the blues and stuff like that, and the numbers and what all. But that was just kind of a weird diecast, hence the reason why I picked up the Daytona Dual Win, which was far more accurate and definitely looked better and had more historical value to it. But as you see there, the full window net that goes from the back to the front accurately, that is another change that they made in the last couple years, which is nice. And you see the mirror pod there as well, which is also an addition for the elites. Overall, very, very nice. You see the win sticker, and very, very happy to know this, have this car. It was definitely worth the price for me personally, because it being his first win, it was definitely worth getting that elite. But yeah, nothing more really to say about it. Kyle Busch did make a tremendous run right there towards the end. I think he started on that last restart because he had a fueling issue. He had to come back down pit lane. They were not able to get his car full of fuel on that last pit stop. So he was restarting in around, 23rd position with a handful of laps left, and actually was able to make it back well within the top 10. That was quite worrying. I would have wondered how it would have finished out if he did not have that issue. Of course, Chase Elliott also had an issue on pit road, but was not penalized by it by hitting his crew member outside the stall and what all. So that was a bit of a worrisome moment there for us Elliott fans, as we were wondering if he was going to receive a penalty or not. Martin Truex Jr. Was the only really one that was up there with Chase Elliott. Them two were the class of the field, up there with Kyle Busch, who, of course, like I just stated, had an issue. But if it wasn't for that issue, I would have been kind of wondering. Kyle Busch, definitely had a good car, and Martin Truex Jr. also had a good car, and they were 15 seconds ahead of the rest of the field on the last lap before he ran out of fuel. That was pretty insane. He was definitely a good gap. Those two cars were the class of the field right there at the end on the last couple of laps. But yeah, overall, very nice diecast. I'm very pleased with how Lionel Racing approached this diecast. Got it out quick and accurate, which is the main thing. I'd rather have accuracy over quickness any day. But yeah, thank you for watching this review. And I am Ryan with NASCAR Authentics Reviews, and I am signing out. Take care, guys.